Good morning, my name's Margaret and you're very welcome. I just thought it would be helpful for me to find out from you what you know about the Promethean Active Classroom. So I want you to look at this tree and I want you to consider these characters and I want you to decide which one you think best reflects who you are in terms of your knowledge. And I'm going to ask you to vote, and so that I can get a feel for which character you best identify with. And we can see we've got a range of, there's no right or wrong answer there, we've got a range of answers, so that's really good. But we can see that immediately I've got some feedback, I understand who you are and what you know. Essentially, teachers use text and pictures, and I think fundamentally that's what we offer here by way of enhancing a lesson. This is much more about offering ways of including multimedia and different ways of presenting that information. I really like this example. It's a word search, and we can pick up a highlighter and we could start to highlight some of those words that we've just been talking about. Or we could go one step further, and what the software lets you do is actually create a sort of magnifier. So as I move these glasses across, we can identify some of those words that we've just been talking about. And here's a ratio question. And so, again, really nice opportunity to get some feedback. Do the children understand the concept of ratio? And let's have a look. The correct answer was actually D, and we can see very quickly who's got it and who hasn't. So I'm going to base the next bit of my presentation around The Owl and the Pussycat, which I don't know if you know that poem by Edward Lear. So they sailed away in a pea green boat. So I'm going to build my boat up. And I've got my owl, and I've got my cat. Now, the nice thing about the library is that it does allow for sound to be added to an image and played through it. And so I can save images that have sounds attached to it. So it might have been that I had a child talking about how the cat might be feeling, and that would be there ready, and that can be saved as part of the library. The owl and the pussycat went to sea, and they were really worried that they were going to get lost. I can stop that, and I can now play that back. And if the sound were coming through a microphone, or if I'd used a microphone, everything I'd said as well would have been captured there. Okay, the poem goes on that they sailed away for a year and a day to a land where the bong tree grows. So this is Bong Tree Island here, and I want you to imagine for a moment that you're going off to the island and you're only allowed to take one of those things with you. And what we could do is vote now, find out who voted what, and actually have a discussion. Using embedded flash, again within the template scenario, and the functionality of the rollover that the pen offers. The pen has full mouse functionality, and so just to emphasise the fact that how your mouse works, the pen works too. So if I was on my desktop and I was to right click, I've got my right click menu coming up. And I don't know if you've ever had to do an owl pellet dissection. I never have, thankfully, but this activity really is just by way of modelling maybe for children how they might look at it. Again, if that was part of the activity, part of the lesson plan, then I would be wanting them to actually do it. But to give them an activity that they could come up to the board and in twos maybe have a discussion and talk about the labelling of the different parts of the rodent.